What have you been up to, Rich, on the rudder?
So we put some paint stripper on and stripped most of the bottom paint off, then took an orbital sander and got most of the rest of it. So now we're going to stop with that for now and finish our inspection by boring a hole all the way through the rudder, and then at some point do some fiberglass work.
Right, whereabouts you want to guide him to drill holes, Mike?
Well, what we would like to do is just to make sure that the integrity of the plate that's in this rudder is intact, is one more inspection hole up here at the top, which we don't have currently, and perhaps another one down in this area. Right? Water has migrated in through this seam, the part seam, and perhaps it could be, I don't think it's in the foam because it's high density foam that this rudder was filled with, but there could be a cavity of water down here, and just to make sure that we get it all, we're going to put one more hole at the bottom of the rudder and see what's in there. After that is done, we need to build a cradle for this rudder so it's standing upright with the shaft on top. The part seam here, which has been compromised, is what needs to be repaired. And so if it's on top, we can taper sand, we can fill it, we can do what we need to do composite wise to repair this rudder.
I'm not gonna have any rudder left. It's just gonna be Swiss cheese.
Oh, this guy knows how to fix it.
I'm just messing.
We know how to fix it.
I just, in case something comes out, like gooey or liquidy, we know what it is.
So we want to get down in here where we hopefully are away from that plate. So
I can't believe that plate went all the way down.
I can't either. No plate. That looks like a great hole. You can't see it with this camera, obviously, but it looks nice and dry. Nothing dripped out. The foam looks perfect, so I think that lower section is also Mike.
Okay, so our next move is to drill an inspection hole at the top of the rudder for a look and see, just in case.
Okay, so Rich, we probably want to get right on the weld seam. What'd you find in this hole up at the top?
So this hole looks just great, just like the other hole we drilled on the bottom end. It's no corrosion, dry, weld looks good, so no issues.
What about that other hole that you drilled?
We drilled one below the metal plate. It's dry as well. It's filled with foam all the way, and it looks good. There's no moisture in there as well. So the next step is going to be pairing our holes, filling it up with foam and glassing over. Mike's going to guide me through that process.
Okay, so we're gonna, now we've proven it's good. All that work, we're proving it's good. Now we got to put it back together, huh?
Now we put it back together. That's the easy part. One thing that we would like to do is to do a burnout on the skin to know what the layup schedule was. The resin will burn out, the material will stay, and then we will know what the layup schedule, how many plies, what type of material they use to build the skin.
Okay, well, we got that composite program. I'll put Lars on that.
Yeah, that'd be good. And it's a simple repair. We have to put the high density material back in the hole, taper sand out all the way around each hole, and then fill back in with the material after we determine what kind of material it was. And it's probably matte and looks like a woven roving. How many, I don't know. That's why we want to burn it out. After we get the holes fixed, and I don't really see at the pintle side of the rudder is where the part has separated, and still intact, still very strong, but we just have a separation there that could grow, and so now it's time to fix it. And it's the same story. We taper sand back 3 inches, 4 inches on each side. All we're trying to do is to close it back up, make it watertight, call it good. This rudder basically does not have to be watertight because it's high density foam in there that does not absorb water. The reason why we want to make it watertight is because the plate that is attached to the rudder shaft it's got to be some kind of iron. It's magnetic, and if we did get water in there, I guess we could call it corrosion down the road. Patch the seam, fill the holes, and make it a very good rudder.